Hello and welcome back to the Room of Truth. I am Queen Doro and today's card is the Ace of Swords. And what is wonderful about this card is, as you can see, it's a sword being held in a crown. And the wonderful thing about aces generally in the pack, whether it's the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, or the Ace of Swords, the very fact that it's an ace normally signifies and implies that it's the beginning of something. So depending on the cards that would be around this card, it would tell me whether it's to do with work, love, money, health, that sort of thing. But for now, I'm going to give you a generalized reading of what this card actually means. Now, the fact that it's a sword means that it is cutting and slashing. And, it's about, I can't say that because I don't want to swear, but it's cutting away the BS around your life. So if we look at perhaps a relationship, it's telling you to look for the honesty in the partnership that you're in. You may be in a situation where you have been having some heated discussions, and there may have been some areas that were not as transparent as you thought they should be. So this card coming up in a reading for you would tell you that it's time to cut through the BS, as I said, and look for the honesty that's in that relationship. It's very important to be open with your communication right now. Don't sweep any problems under the rug because they will fester and become way worse. So if you have any problems that are currently happening, now is a good time to look at them and bring them to the fore and deal with them one by one. Now, another thing with the problems that you might be encountering right now is they may not seem to be smaller problems. Now, what do I mean by smaller problems? Well, day to day, being in a relationship with someone, you can get bogged down with the mundaneness, with the nitty-gritty, with the humdrum of life, and that can mean and lead you to a rut, and that might be where you're finding yourself right now. So this signifies that it's time for a new beginning of clarity, of speaking your truth, of not holding back any feelings that you might have of resentment, because resentment will build up if you don't think that you know all the information or have all the information to hand. And this card signifies that you have to be open with your communication. You have to be honest with your partner. And if you find yourself in heated discussions, then it's a perfect time to bring all the problems and all the little nitty-gritty, niggly things of day-to-day things that might be annoying you to the fore and say, listen, okay, I'm not happy with this situation right now, or, this is how I feel. If you focus on how you feel, no one can ever tell you that your feelings are wrong, because how would they know? You are the only person that knows what you are feeling. And so therefore, if you're true to yourself, you will never go wrong with the feelings that you decide to share with your significant other. Now, if you are just coming out of a period of turmoil, and perhaps you've just come out of a toxic relationship, or you've just had a breakup, this is telling you that you have cut the toxicity out of your relationship. You have used the clarity to its best effect, and you are now clear and ready to move forward for a new relationship. If you are looking for a partner, then I would suggest that this card is saying there's a new beginning, but you need to start with a very clear, solid foundation. This is who I am. This is what I'm looking for in a person. This is these are the things that I don't like about someone. And this is, if you are completely open and honest, then it could and may encourage the other person to be as equally open and honest with you, so you both know where you stand. Now, if they decide not to be as honest with you, then that's not for you to worry about. You cannot be held responsible for somebody else's thoughts, choices, decisions, good or bad, or even their actions. All you have is your life, your thoughts, your heart, your soul, your desires, your dreams, and what you would like out of your life. And only you can live your life and live your best version of yourself. It's very easy to become bogged down by other people's wants, needs, desires, and opinions, and you don't need that. This Ace of Swords is saying that you are in the right position right now to move forward with clarity and with open heart and open honesty, right? I was going to say honestness, but I don't think that's a word. Now, if you are at work or you are thinking about work, and I'm not saying when you're at work now physically, but when you're at work and this card comes up for you in a reading, or you're thinking, what's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks, months, days, hours, whatever, this card is telling you to be, again, open-hearted and truthful and honest and cut through the bullshit. Ooh. Excuse my French, I hope I didn't upset anybody there. Cut through the BS of life. Sometimes those words, they just tumble straight from my mouth, and I'm so sorry. I hope I haven't offended you. It was not my intention. I was a little too forthright there, and I hadn't got my filter on there, so please, apologies for saying the word. I will refer to it as BS in future. Again, my sincere apologies. Right, with regard to finances, it's saying cut away your emotional purchases. For example, okay, I'm talking about buying and selling and your personal life as opposed to finances at work. But for example, if you've been doing a lot of impulse buying, or you've been doing retail therapy, oh my goodness, I'm so into retail therapy, I cannot tell you. This card would apply to me. I would have to avoid making emotional purchases. I have this habit, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, that sometimes I just like to treat myself, and this card really does speak to me more often than I would like it to, because it tells me I need to make better decisions. I have to think with my head and not my heart. I'm the sort of person that will go past a shop, and if I see something that I really, really like, I will buy it, and it'll be like, oh my goodness, did I really need to buy another pair of shoes? Did I need to buy another necklace? Did I need more of whatever I bought? And this card I should really have stapled to my purse, because it would then tell me, hey, pull back a minute, think about it. If you do not need it, you do not want it. Because, yes, this might be a card that is specifically for me. But if you have this card in your reading, then do know that it is telling you to think logically, think objectively, cut away the things that you don't need, the purchases that you don't need, free your mind. If a friend asks you for a loan, which this could also mean that, then you are to look at it with a clear mind, not your heart. Oh, but so-and-so really does need to borrow that money off me. No. I'm not saying they don't need the money. I'm not saying they don't actually really, really need the money. But you have to think about your own situation when this card comes up. It's telling you, if you loan them the money, are you going to get the money back? If they are unable to pay the money back to you, are you able to afford the loss? Okay? Once I was told by someone that if you can afford to lose the money if somebody asks you to loan them some money, if you can afford to lose the money, then you don't have to worry about whether you loan it to them or not, because the moment you give them that money, it is theirs and it may not come back to you. And the best way, if you loan someone some money, it's because you can afford to. This card is saying that if anybody asks you for money, think very clearly as to whether you can afford to write it off. Because if you cannot, then it's going to cause trouble and problems further down the line. So think with your heart. Oh dear, sorry. Let me rewind that. Think with your head, not your heart. Don't do what I do. Right. On that note, have a super day. If you liked this video, please like it. If you are not a subscriber, then please subscribe. And if the card spoke to you, then do come and join me, and I'll be able to give you more information and more depth if you'd like to join me on Facebook. In the meantime, have a super day, and it's bye for now. Remember, think with your head, not your heart. I know it's difficult sometimes. Bye-bye.